Hello, and welcome to Mike, DJ, and Doc, the show that plants seeds for cultivating new culture. Hello, family. Welcome back to the Mike, DJ, and Doc podcast. Hope you've been doing well. On today's show, we got a very special podcast lined up for you. Got a very special guest, Mr. Weston of the GSW Network.
Thank you.
How you doing, Weston?
I'm doing well, and I feel very honored to be invited on the podcast.
Great. Hey, and we can't forget Doc now. We got Doc on here too. Come on. How you doing, Doc?
All is well. It's good to be here.
All right. Everything been going well with you?
Oh, yes, it has. Definitely, yes. It's excited about the season that we're in.
Absolutely. Christmas season.
Yes, definitely.
So before we go any farther, let's introduce our guest, and you tell us a little bit about you. Weston, basically, who are you?
Well, you just said the name's Weston, and I usually go by that name. I've been married for almost 30 years. My wife still calls me Weston. But I'm in the Joliet area, and have met some wonderful people here, and started out in the ministry here. And when we really say the ministry for us is a lot into media, a lot into the stage and productions, as well as even the core message traditionally behind the pulpit. But it started here and strongly here in Joliet.
Oh, awesome. Good. Well, how did you get started in doing these stage productions? I know you mentioned this is where it started in Joliet, but what kind of like introduced you like into the business?
Well, the business side of it, we didn't really see it as business at the start of it. At least I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And someone had to point that out to me. You know, what you're doing is, what would happen is, even though we were at a local church at the time, a lot of people who were not connected to our church or affiliation or denomination would come to us for these productions that we would put on. And it started small, and then it just began to growing, and it just even diversity. Black, white, Hispanic. We've been able to reach cultures with it. And I really started, if I was to be honest, in North Carolina, and I got my start there even before I married, I'll say. And it was something that followed when I came here to Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just been one. That's been one calling that's never been able to shake. It's still with me.
Awesome. Now, stage productions has grown in the area in the last few years. And I mean, if we look around with the Broadway and different things, play's been around for years, playwrights. And if we go back in history, it's been around for a long time, but it's really starting to grow in the ministry area. I mean, you're starting to look around at several different ministries are putting on and having drama ministries, period, you know?
Yeah.
And me personally, I think the time is ripe for using that artwork or that artistry of plays and playwrights and different things to reach people that like you said, may not come to your church.
Right.
And to get the word out, or to get a message through them that may not can sit down and listen to a sermon, you know. Now, us that grew up in church, well, we can sit down probably for hours and listen to a sermon because that's what we've been basically conditioned to do.
A little more discipline.
Right, a little discipline. Good word, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But an individual who didn't grow up in that type of environment comes to sit down and be like, I don't know if I can do this, you know? But
Exactly.
Coming to a production and getting basically the same message, but in a different format. Tell me, how you create that different format, you know, where it doesn't sound like a sermon?
Well, I like the word you used, format, because now that we really have gone into media and in technology, it has really changed the landscape of how we communicate, period. And I don't mean, whether you're in the church or not, that's just the medium of our day, and it diversifies in so many applications. And for anyone to come in and to take those kind of applications and skillfully apply them to a text, as you said, a sermon or a message, that's the way it's going to be digested and received in this age. And I don't, it used to be, well, that's the young people. That's a everybody thing now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just technology from 8 to 80. And my father's almost 80, and he was showing me something on the phone how he was doing it, and the fact that we were even talking that way, it just
Mm-hmm.
showed us, look how far that we have come. But the format, what we do is we used to do traditional plays. As you mentioned that maybe about an hour, we did, you just see people moving around and telling a good story on stage like that. But our what makes sets us apart probably from the your typical or local play that's being done, even if you do it at church or theatrics, we incorporate a lot of uh, uh, film and film footage as a part of our storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
and all of it flows like one seamless storyline. And that's kind of the stamp that we put on it, in the hope that people can really get something out of us telling a story that way.
Oh wow, that is good because that's what caught my attention that your one production you did back in April
Mhm.
called Good
Good
Friday.
Friday, yes,
And I sat down and I came to one of the local churches and I seen it and I was there really supporting one of my cousins, Donis, that
yes,
was one of the
very,
main characters
very
in it.
talented, very good actor.
And he's done been on quite a few shows. He actually had a stint on Empire.
Yes,
I don't know if
yes,
you knew that, but when
yes,
Empire was
yes,
filming here in Joliet, he had part of one of the extras in it. But anyway, long story short, I went and seen the production down there, and I thought that was just amazing how y'all ran that together.
yes.
It's like the scene that you couldn't produce on stage, you recorded somewhere else and just incorporated that in it. And like you said,
Exactly.
you just followed the story from beginning to end like that. And I
That's
thought
right.
that was very interesting that you used it and done it that way. That
Thank
was
you.
really neat. Well, I
Right.
tell you what, you pretty much are the director behind these things.
Hmm.
What's your favorite part of directing?
Well, as with any story, it's my opinion, it starts with the writing and the
Hmm.
storyline. And I know, and what got me into this is really a school teacher. That's one, didn't know that that would be something that I would venture out to do, but he took me out of a trouble or timeout to ask me to do something for the class. That
Hmm.
kind of put a seed in me and caused us to foster into what we have right now. But I believe the writing, if you can be able to map it out, is one thing, but just or even I would say almost as equally, finding the right people to incorporate into those parts
Hmm.
to really bring that to life,
Hmm.
and to see it come to life. That's still a fascinating part for me.
Yeah, that's got to be good because, like you say, you got to get them to draw that emotion that you put into that
Yes,
writing,
so important.
and that's about got to be one of the most challenging parts. Is how do you convey that message to the actor or actress to get that out?
Yes, yeah.
So, speaking of actor and actresses, do you have a company? Where do you find the people to produce these? Are these all people from the local church or are they from surrounding areas? Or how do you find the people to be in there?
That is a very good question. You mentioned one of the actors. He's not on this particular play that we're doing right now, but he has supported us in many other plays in the past. It's the skill level of people that come to us. There's a lot of things I don't do well.
Mhm.
This one thing is I'd have no problem putting this together. That's the gift side of it. But people outside of me, like a Donis, as you mentioned, or many other people that come to us, these people in their own right, they can stand on their own merit.
Mhm.
On the show Empire, we have some people from Chicago Fire, some people who've done other plays outside of what I'm doing. To me, it's like having the largest and most custom skill box toolbox you can have. And I'm able
Mhm.
to go in like a master carpenter and draw whatever tool I can to make it happen. And those having that kind of skill set, I believe, makes it really possible. And these people, they come from all over. Don't ask me how. It's a drawing card for one that we do, and one reaches another, one reaches another. And I can honestly say that probably in about I'll just use a 10-year time window. Maybe once or twice that I've done an audition.
Mhm.
Everybody else has just come. So yeah,
So you just almost just bypass that whole part of the process. It's just
bypass the whole
people
part.
just showed up that were willing, able, and skilled to do it.
And the very important part, that was skill to do it. And I think that's what sets us apart from anyone who does a traditional type of, or we're just doing something for our church, or we're just doing something for our civic group. The skill level runs that high, and it makes the storytelling that much more easier.
Mm. Oh, that's awesome. I know you mentioned one of your mentors was a teacher that
Yes,
saw something in you.
yes.
It's kind of like spoken to your life. Did you come across any other mentors or something that actually came and watered that and then helped it to bloom into where you at your current time?
Yes, life. Life it's been the greatest mentor and teacher and given the highs and lows, and I've had so much to draw from that. But aside from that teacher who seeded that into me, I was 12 years old at the time. Uh, I, I guess it would say it was other teachers who were not even directly involved with what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I used one particular teacher. I was not fond of her class. It was singing year. I didn't want to be in her class. I just wanted to make the grade to graduate.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, we're going on a field trip for this one before the year's out, Christmas. And she said, well, she picked the theatrical production we were going to see, and it was happening to be Cats in Chicago. I was
Okay.
like, I don't want to see that. I mean, I was just so, I just did not have a good attitude. But I went, I sat at the back of the bus. This was really large, and not that it mattered black or white, but it was, there was more on the white diversity, and I just
Mm-hmm.
didn't really care. But I sat there throughout Cats, and I tell you, by the time I left that production, I was so blown away at the magnitude of how they could present something in a fashion that way. And that teacher, unbeknownst to her, even fueled it even further from what the seventh grade teacher did. And if I could see her now, I just did tell her thank you. Just that you never know how the routes or the steps you take in life really are directing and redirecting you into the area you really need to go.
Mm. I'm just gonna sidetrack just a little bit here
Yeah.
because that is very interesting. I was watching interview with Condoleezza Rice. You remember the former
Yes.
U.S. Secretary of State, and they was asking her a little bit about her background, like how did she get into international politics, and she basically said that when I was going to Stanford, I was training to be a pianist, a professional performing pianist.
As I heard, she was a very good musician.
You're right. And she said, but when she failed at that, she ended up taking an international politics class, political science or whatever. And something about that class that drew her into that area. And to go on to say that basically, she says, I set out to do this thing, but I got into this. And when you're going through life, you just need to continue to be open
Oh, that's
to
powerful.
the pathway that's being presented to you and the mentors that are surrounding you.
Very good.
And one last thing while we just talking about mentors, she said, I couldn't wait. If I was waiting for a mentor in this field, she said I couldn't wait because where is it another Black U.S. Secretary of State, female?
That's a good point.
She said it's all right to be the first.
I like that.
It's all right to be the first. So I know we sidetracking a little bit, but it's just when we started talking about the mentor portion of your life, I believe when people tune into this podcast that they're looking for some kind of transformation.
Okay.
And through your story, and then through this moment with Condoleezza Rice that we mentioned here, that they can find out that guess what? Maybe where I'm headed is not my direct calling.
Yeah.
But if I stay open and keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
All right, so we're gonna get back with you on this. We're gonna come back. One another question is, when you doing these productions, and this is for anybody that's getting into this portion of the business, what is it like building a relationship with benefactors? Because, like you said, it costs to do this. You know, you have a lot of volunteers and you have a lot of people that volunteer time, spaces, and different things like that.
Absolutely.
But eventually, you need some people supporting you financially. How is it about building that portion of it?
And a good point that you made there. When we started this out, it was just fun, and it's still fun to a large degree. But we wasn't concentrating and thinking about finances or a budget or anything like that. We just had to get up and show what we had. But as time went on, and we began to want to take this really a level up. I don't want to even say professional, but just the level of what we were doing, take it up to to just show that kind of excellence in what we were doing. Yes, it did cost along the way. We found that out. But building, I had to learn, and I can't really say that someone led me by the hand to do this. I had to
Mm-hmm.
learn people,
Mm-hmm.
learning people to see how you can connect with them as people, and that humanity side of it. Because everybody's not in the church, as you alluded to earlier. Everybody doesn't come to places of religious circles or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing how to make yourself culturally aware of what's around you,
Mm-hmm.
and then tapping into that community. And by doing that, I was able to discover that, listen, you can go into banks, you can go into all kind of institutions that are not religious circles at all, but because you're giving to the community in some way, that circle of giving comes back to you. And so you have to learn how to navigate those structures and corridors of society to see how that can really benefit in what you're doing. And that took a little while. That didn't happen overnight, and I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm.
But that process, because I really have a passion and drive forward, it fosters that knowledge to grow in that way, and it's very beneficial to what we're doing.
All right, that's excellent, excellent. Because, like you say, it takes sponsors
It
to
does.
do this,
It does.
and like to those that are tuning in, you're gonna have to do some legwork too.
It's
Cause see, that's see
yes, you do.
here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it. Sometimes when you have to go into those places like that,
Hmm. Hmm.
it's not a comfortable setting.
No, no.
You basically going in there to talk to people that you're trying to, like I said, explain your situation to them so that they will invest in it
Yes.
and see the value in it also. But
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
also may want to see an ROI.
They want to see a rate of investment. They want and you hit on something there,
Hmm.
and they really want to see if you're saying that you're coming from the angle of helping the community. Uh, what you present to them says a lot as well.
Hmm.
And as a matter of fact, they can choose to or decide to write you in or write you out just by what you say in that first initial minute, 30 seconds
Hmm.
that you have. And I found that out as well. So yeah, the way you speak, the way you dress, and the way you present what you have, all of that goes into portraying an image. And people call it branding. I don't really like to say that because in everything's a brand. Brands can be this, that, or a third. But people can tell if they never knew what your brand was, they can read you.
Hmm.
They can read you, and they could read you in or read you out. And so I've had a lot of disappointments. I've had people turn me down. But if you're not committed to what you're doing, you won't have the stamina to push through that, and
Hmm.
that's important.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I got one last question. Well, no, I got some more questions. But here's another one that you probably have ran into.
Hmm. Hmm.
Maybe dealing with some of the people that work in your play, or maybe not, or maybe it's something you done dealt with. But anyway, as you continue to grow and as this continue to develop, and like you said, continue to level up,
Yes.
how do you avoid becoming conceited
Help.
or dealing with narcissism? Because
Yeah.
sometimes we have a few successes,
Yes.
and all of a sudden we feel like we're on top of the world, and
Mm-mm.
we start thinking, okay, well, okay, I think I got this thing. How do you
Good.
how do you stay humble in that? Because see, like you said, how do you do that, or how do you identify it?
Listen, the humble part is there to teach you at every corner. I don't. And so you listen. You wake up on that high. You wake up on that mountain, and before the day is over, dare I say the midday, it's something there to humble you in no greater way than you could imagine. And that's not a bad thing.
Hmm.
That's not a bad thing because a person who's over anything, who's over male, female, doesn't matter. There can be a potential to go to a degree to the left or right, or be an extremist at something, and people that's a part about you that they may never like, may never like to see. Uh,
Hmm.
but as you go along in this way, you will keep yourself humble before that
Hmm.
comes to that point. And people like to be around people who have humility. If you're leading at something that can attract them initially, But if you're leading past that point out of your own conceitedness, they will draw back and draw away from you. And you'll be by yourself. But it won't be long before you are by yourself. And so I have learned to humble myself and keep my own self under subjection. And aside from myself, I have a wife and children. They will humble you each and every time. My kids, they don't care about you doing this stuff, but they just want dad. And my wife just wants a husband. And those values have really helped the humility factor stay at an even keel.
I tell you what, that's one of the first things I noticed about you when I met you.
All right.
That's one of the first things. Even in the text, some of the texts when we texting back and forth about certain things, it's the humility that comes through in your persona. I mean, I was like, wow, I done found myself mimicking you, believe it or not. In the short time that we done known each other, I done found myself mimicking you. When I send some texts, I'm like, this is how I need to build myself up.
That's all right.
Because like I said, sometimes I have caught myself or maybe found myself not so much getting conceited because I know everything comes from God.
Yes.
I know that. And even though the Lord has blessed me tremendously in certain areas and stuff, it's still I have shortcomings.
Yes.
I still have shortcomings.
We all do.
And I have to learn to reel myself back in a little bit better.
All right.
Because my wife tells me, let me say, she encourages me.
There goes our wives again.
Right. You what did you just say? You need to be thinking about what you just said there. So, she has a way to reel me back in. But I don't be thinking like that. But when I hear your conversation and the time I spend with you, I see what she means a little bit better. And I'm still a work in progress, but I appreciate that portion of you. That's why I wanted to ask you that question. How do you avoid that? Because like you said, sometimes we can get excited and the Lord be opening up doors and things, and all of a sudden we start thinking, well, we doing this, but you got to keep in mind, and guess what? The calling that he has on each of our lives for his purpose is he still can get his purpose done. We are insignificant to the process.
That's absolutely right.
So he still can get it done. I'm just glad he chose me
to do it. Very thankful.
So that is why I continue to work on that as he works on me. All right, we're going to take a quick break here, and then we'll be right back on the Mike, DJ, and Doc podcast.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
All right, we're going to pivot in our conversation with Doc and myself, and we're going to talk a little bit about this holiday season. So far, Doc, how's the holiday season been going for you?
It's been going pretty good. It's going pretty good. I mean, and when you say holiday season, like, do you mean Christmas shopping? Do you mean Christmas spirit?
Well, remember, we're actually talking about from Thanksgiving on to this point where we at right now, because it seemed like everything just kind of kicks off around Thanksgiving, and then have good times eating and spending time with family. And we was able to get together down there while we was in Gatlinburg.
Yes, we sure was. Wow, that is right.
Yeah.
Mention that. Yes, man. Yeah, Thanksgiving was a wonderful time. The host has asked you to start your video. Yes, the Thanksgiving was fantastic. Man, it was great having you all come down, and I mean, we just, it really felt good. It really felt good. I mean, sometimes, when our older, parents and generation, sometimes it just seems different. I don't know, maybe it's just me. It just seems different. It could be just me. Somebody else may know what I'm feeling.
Yeah, usually when the matriarchs and the patriarchs are going on, the thing that used to draw us all together was spending time with them, and like you said, my older aunts and uncles and stuff. Well, as they
Right.
all passed on, it seems like from generation to generation, it has changed a little bit,
Yeah.
and it seems like we don't make it a priority as family wide as we used to.
I
Now we
got
we got members of family, like you said, we're gonna get together no matter what, no matter what's going on. But like you said, trying to get everybody involved across the board has been a little more than say a challenge, you know. But
Yeah.
when we do get together, who all that makes it, we do enjoy one another.
That's good. Yes, that's
We
good. Yeah.
yes.
Do you think that maybe due to social media, FaceTiming, Zoom, that it kind of takes away from the excitement of seeing family? Because it would be like, say for instance, that old uncle, boy, that boy done grew way up. I remember when he was little. But now he can watch that little boy grow up just by watching the pictures that's posted on Facebook and the YouTube. I mean, YouTube, and or FaceTime. I mean, it makes me wonder. I mean, because it's like you can see your people every day, every time they go somewhere, because people post and video call you, and
Mhm.
so I wonder, is that, to me, I feel like that is taking the element of surprise. Like, dude, I talk to you every day, I see you all the time.
Yeah, that
But
that take away from, like you said, the intimacy of it, you know?
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
the person to person actual live contact, because like you said, we get a visual of everybody developing and growing.
yes,
And like you say, you okay, if I don't make it, I'm gonna see y'all anyway,
correct,
And
right, that's it, yes.
then
Yes,
and I think that plays a big part in it. Big
right.
part.
It
Be-
really does, yes.
But see, that's the thing about it. Having, like you said, grandma there, a great grandma there,
Yeah,
you wanted to be there to
correct,
hug
yes.
and kiss
There
them and
you go.
stuff. You wanted to be
Yes.
there.
Yes, but now these grandmamas and granddaddies got iPhones, laptops. Oh, matter of fact, you're a grandpa. Yeah, okay.
That's right.
I mean, it's like, hey, I can't make it to my great niece recital. Hey, y'all just go live.
Let's go.
Guess what? I can be there, and when we done, I can text her and let her know you did an awesome job.
That's
Because in
right.
that I wasn't there physically, but what? You were there literally. You could literally still see it.
Uh
So it
huh.
ain't like I gotta say, hey, I was there in spirit. No, man, I was literally watching you. But
Mm-hmm.
your daddy was live, or your mom was live, or vice versa. It's just wow, it's just a unique way of things have changed.
Things have changed. Yes,
Yeah, it's just
and
fun.
that's why, like I said, we keep hopefully as time goes on that somehow we'll rekindle that though. I know
Yeah, yeah,
we talked about it a little bit while we was down there at your dinner table. You talked about, the next generation needing to know their people.
right,
And
yes,
I mentioned, like, they need to know where they come from so they'll know where they're going.
right,
And
yeah,
sometimes, like you said, that would help generate that closeness that we are seeking. And
correct. And yes, it really would. Yes, definitely. Yes. I mean, I believe it's very, important. We were looking at today on the news that mailing stamps are getting ready to go up to 60 some cent. I told my wife, I said, shoot, who uses them? I
mhm.
said, just I found the book. I said, wife, it was a book of stamps just sitting in our son's room. And I got some stamps in there in the kitchen. I said, where did them stamps come from? She said, I found them. I'm like, what? And it's been like, they just sitting there. I'm like, because we cash app everybody or
Mhm.
Zelle. You know what I'm saying? I mean, or Apple Pay, because my grandkids are Apple Pay with, hey, happy birthday. Dude, I mean, hey, I'm the grandpa of the year. They get some money on their Apple Pay. It's like, hey, so it's just, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So Christmas cards, I mean, that's kind of extinct. You know, like, hey, Christmas, hey, just write a big note on Facebook. Hey, this is all the family, bam.
Right. But we still a little bit traditional right there.
Yes, I know
My
y'all.
wife and I, we go. You been getting a Christmas
I
card
already
soon.
know. I already know. Yes.
You'll be getting
Yes.
one soon. But yes,
Yeah.
we still send out
Yeah.
Christmas cards. I don't send out as many as we used to,
Gotcha.
but I still send out Christmas cards, and then my wife went and took some photos and made like a little collage and different things
Gotcha.
like that.
Yeah.
Again, more pictures.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Gotcha. Definitely. And hey, I'll probably see the pictures on what?
Facebook.
It's like, definitely. So it's like, yeah, but and so definitely, but I mean that's just the day and time.
That's just the way it is. But yeah, I'm still looking forward to Christmas time though, because
Yes. Oh,
Chris,
yes.
as I get older, Christmas time has really become one of my favorite times of the year.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's
one of the reasons is I'm able to think back of Christmas past, some of my childhood memories and different things like that. And of course, a lot of the cartoons and a lot of the different things that's coming on now and stuff like that. They used to come back. It's kind of like I don't sit and watch the whole thing because I've seen them Charlie Brown and all them 1,000 times. But it's still just it jars and triggers a memory when we was growing up and used to watch it, and I could hear my dad in the background, a mom there, my younger brother, or something like that during this part of my life. So that I'm really starting to enjoy this time of year. And like I said, past the gift giving and everything like that, but it's something about this time of year, even in the world. I mean, if you look at people that don't normally get on, it seems around Christmas time, it seems like everybody's a little bit more nicer, a little
okay.
more joyous, no matter what the issues they dealing with or whatever. So that's one of the things that I'm really starting to uh take notice of in my life.
Okay. That's good. That's good. And that's good. I believe it. Yeah. And yes, I can definitely relate to that. I really enjoy the moment, especially in the moment.
Mhm.
It's like I guess I would truly be like a Santa Claus on the day up. You know what I'm saying? Coming through the chimney, feeling the joy and the excitement of it, especially on that day, and not realizing, I mean, the year has just gone by today. I mean, this probably airing, between the 10th and the 25th of this may be airing. So today you may be listening to this. We right at Christmas.
Mhm.
We were right there. I mean, and it's just it was very gift buying was his way up this year. So people are definitely in the spirit and definitely in the mood. Definitely they are definitely investing. And I mean, and this is definitely a time to get with family and just enjoy the moment. There may be some that don't believe in all, and get into all the different beliefs, and
Mhm.
and we understand that, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, this is a great time to celebrate. Celebrate life and just celebrate the joy in the moment, and be with family, because even the people that have grown to their beliefs, I
Mhm.
guarantee you at some point you did believe in this day.
Mm.
At some point, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just so, it's like, so don't lose the fact of the family, especially young folks. Hear me, when you got parents and things of that nature that are traditional, man, you honor your parents. Don't come with all this. Listen, you honor your parents, because when your parents are gone, you'll wish you were able to honor them. You'll wish you would be able to be there to celebrate Christmas and things that they celebrate. I mean, you got all these different beliefs. Well, I don't eat meat no more, and I'm a vegan, and I'm a vegetarian, and I'm a carnivorous, or whatever. All these different. Hey, listen, man. Enjoy the moment with your family, with your parents. You know, your grandparents, if they're there. Hey, enjoy it. You know, trust me. Listen to what I'm saying. You enjoy it. Your parents and grandparents. They love to see you enjoying and eating the things that they prepare and they cook. I mean, listen, it ain't gonna kill you. It's one day.
That's right.
Enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, and you'll understand what I'm saying one day when they're gone. You'll wish, man, I wish I had to just sit there and eat them greens and cornbread and and that piece of turkey or whatever else, whatever else you want. Just hey, enjoy your family. Because when family is gone and when you don't have no one, when you need man, I'm telling you, family is something that's very valuable in this, very valuable.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask you to just bring it out because I know I'm going backwards, but when we was down there, you said something very key to the whole family down there. You said when you get older, and who knows, may God forbid end up in a nursing home,
Right.
and if you didn't come around your family when you were able to,
Right.
when you get in that position to where your body doesn't allow you, and you in a nursing home or whatever, and I believe you alluded to the point that it's a lot of people in nursing home who don't have family that don't check on them, don't come see them, and
Yeah.
some of that can stem from the earlier in life when family gatherings was going on, you was too busy doing your own thing. Now you didn't say that definitely, but you said that could be a
Right.
possibility. I mean,
Yes.
speak on that right there.
And that's real. I mean, that is so real. We were going to the nursing home when my mother-in-law, because of her health condition, they had to put her in a nursing home, which her children were there 24/7. But we every Sunday, we would always have big gatherings there to do, Christmas, Easter, and all that. But we would see each Sunday, I would see there would be people that never had no one come. And I used to say to myself, what could these people have done that nobody comes to visit them? No visitors. Like they would have a banquet hall at the nursing home, so we was always using it.
Mhm.
Everybody bringing the big dishes, and older people would give me, can I come be a part of that? I'm like, come on, just come on, because they had no one to celebrate with, no one coming to see them, and man, that weighed heavy on me. And I would think about just some people that I know that are so mean, so vindictive. I'm through with my family. I don't deal with them. I mean, and just mean on a daily to people. And I would see all this in my mind. Like,
Mhm.
were these people like that? I would be saying to myself, I seen them just lay over there because a roommate. Nobody never came to see them. And it's like they would deteriorate because the worst thing you can do is leave something in isolation, even a building. If you leave the building in isolation, it will deteriorate. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? If no one is staying there and it's just left abandoned, everything could go wrong in the building just by no one being there, being lonely. Even God said it's not good for what? Man to be alone.
Mhm.
So I'm like, why would you want to now? And what people don't understand is when you're able to do and be a part, man, go be a part. I tell people, if you're able to do, go do it. Listen, I know, sometimes, it's like, man, make sacrifices. And that's very important. You have to sacrifice for the sake of your family. Because if you don't sacrifice now, guess what? People are not going to sacrifice for you later.
Mm.
Understand? They not gonna sacrifice. Man, I ain't studying that old ain't hateful. Not this is what will take place. So man, I'm like, man, I'm willing to sacrifice. If I got to get on the road, whatever I got to do. Hey, man, I'm gonna be there. Because whatever you reciprocate,
Okay.
whatever you put out on the water is what you will get back. I'm like, man, it's the law of reciprocation.
Mhm.
I want to be able to reciprocate all through life. You know what I'm saying? All through life. My, wherever I'm at, wherever, we still having a ball. Everybody's still coming around. Why? Because I invested, family time and just time. Time is, man, time, man. I mean, God Almighty, think about it. If you sow some time, man, you can reap time later. Don't sow no time. Guess what? You don't reap nobody's time later when you most need it. Come on, when you ain't nowhere to go. When you wish your phone would ring, I wish they stopped calling my phone. You declining every call. You ignoring people say, oh, I didn't see you lying. You did see that text. You did see that call. You know what I'm saying? You was a lie. You know what I'm saying? One day you're going to wish somebody would text you or would call you. Because when that phone stopped ringing, I'm telling you, loneliness will kill you. Do you understand? My loneliness. Man, I can go into loneliness. Boy, loneliness. God Almighty.
Yeah.
Yes, man. Oh, man.
I'm saying, what do the lonely do at Christmas, right?
Man, oh, man. Gotta say that one more time.
What do the lonely do at Christmas?
Oh, man.
It's a record I was, 30, 40 years ago called that, right?
It is. Wow. This season between these 3 months, these next few months, of course, you got your Christmas, you got your Thanksgiving, you got your Christmas, you got your New Year's, and then you got Valentine's Day. But then these 4, it's just the most depressing time of the year in a lot of people's lives because people have no one. You understand?
Wow.
No one.
I never thought of that because, like you said, you would think these would be the most joyous times.
Yeah.
But
right.
like you said, if you don't have a special person in your life or you're not involved in family and this, that, and the other, it can be because you can see everybody else celebrating around you. And you can see all the constant celebrations on TV and the commercials because they hit you with a whole bunch of commercials during this time of year.
Yes.
Or let's say this block of months that you mentioned.
Yes.
They have a whole bunch of commercials about family get-togethers, gifts, and everything else, all the way up to, like you said, to Valentine's Day. And an individual who does not have someone that they can lean on, all it does is just remind them of how lonely they are. Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes. That's it. And it really can. This season, this 4-month season, definitely is the most depressing because, like you just said, all the commercialism, every time you finna get ready to go on Facebook, you finna see couples in their PJs, taking pictures in their pajamas. You know what I'm saying? Their loved one, having somebody to cuddle, have somebody to hold. Just come on, just all the joyous things.
Let me see if I can paint a scene for you. I mean, the couple walking down the sidewalk outside the store window. The snow was falling over everywhere, and she stops in front of the jewelry store and looks at him in the eye. He looks back at her.
Dale's jewelry commercial, yes. Diamond, yeah. Oh, yes. And that's it. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And definitely. And that's it. So and it's just like all the traditions they gonna come that people have been taught. Don't let a woman come through your door at the first of the year. Make sure it's a man if you ain't got a man, and then God gonna bless you with a man. It's just all the traditions, the great loneliness, and
hold up, Doc.
Oh,
You gonna have to reiterate that.
Oh,
I ain't never heard that before.
Yes.
What you talking about?
They say, listen, if a woman is single, do not let another woman come through your door on the first of the year. At least let a man be the first to come through your door and you'll get a man. And
really?
Yes. You know what I'm saying? So it is like, and so you got to think, just listen to the stuff, and just, I'm like, wow. So you know what to cope with the loneliness and not going another year being by yourself. So, it's just, it's a bit much, it's going to be a lonely time of the year for a lot.
All right, Doc. Well, I tell you what, we're going to take one last break here, and then we'll be back with There It Is.
There it is. Donate. There it is. There it is.
Hey, and once again, as we get ready to wrap it up today, we kind of went through the Christmas thing and we kind of like parked on loneliness. And I just want to give you this point to just help you in this season of your life. The power of human love that God has placed within us all to be a blessing to one another, which allows us to draw strength, healing, and create peace in our lives through the power, watch this, of connectivity. Through the power of connectivity, us connecting, us hugging, us embracing, us fellowshipping one with another, us being around, us laughing together because laughter doeth good as a medicine. Do you understand? Us encouraging one another, us supporting each other's visions and dreams. Do you understand? If somebody has a business in your family, man, being supportive and vice versa. Do you understand? My, glory to God. And just the power of the human love that God has placed within us in this season, because we're in the Christmas season. And as we believe here in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, we celebrate his birthday. We celebrate, he was born. God sent our Savior. And what did he send him on? He sent him on love. Come on, to reconcile the human race back to God. Come on, he was the man in the middle between divinity and humanity. Come on. And it was love that took our Savior to the cross. And we celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior because it was love. That God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever, whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. But we want to encourage you in this season to allow the love of God that's in your heart, because God's love, come on, somebody, mama, it's in there. You just got to stir it up. The gift of love that's on the inside of you. You got to resist being bitter. You got to resist bitterness, being angry, being upset, being revengeful. Them are all works of the flesh. And that's all rooted in pride. Come on. Some of you need to just bite the bullet. You need to hold your peace and let the Lord fight your battle. Do you understand? Because your family needs you. And guess what? You need them. My, glory to God. They need you and you need them. Some of you, it's time to reconcile. Reconcile the differences. Put some stuff behind you. Put it under the blood. Do you understand? We've all come from some dysfunctional situations. Many of us come out of dysfunctional families. But guess what? God could be calling you to be the solitary in your family, to bring it together. Be calling you that one. Come on, somebody. Because one can chase 1,000 and two can put 10,000 to flight. Hey, this is Dr. Sullivan with There It Is. You have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Until next time.
All right, family, that'll be all for today. Want to say Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and have a Happy New Year. If you have any questions for Doc, DJ, or Mike, please go to MikeDJandDoc.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. New episodes released on the 7th and 21st of each month. Matthew 25:40, Good News Translation, the King will reply, I tell you, whenever you did this for one of the least important of these followers of mine, you did it for me. We leave you with this question. Am I helping at least one person? The Mike, DJ, and Doc podcast is brought to you by Silver Cup Investments. Recorded at Audio Hive Podcasting.